All right, so I actually know quite a few of you guys too here. If you don't know me, I'm Rob Campbell. I grew up 2 roads outside of town. Had a dairy farm out there for 10 years. Sold the cows in quota 7 years ago and ended up at Emmanuel. Sold them in November, started Emmanuel in January. So things progressed very quickly. That was God's leading, God's calling, God's hand in the whole thing. So it was a really unique experience for me at Emmanuel. I had I've had a week to kind of think this through. So a couple of really unique things about Emmanuel for me were the people down there. I was a commuter, so I don't have the residence experience. I don't have the student life experience like a lot of people do when they go to college. I was down there for classes, and that was it, because I have a family and a farm, and I work out, and I work at the church, and that's what I do. So when I went down there, I took my schedule down, and Chair Kaltecki is the administrator down there, and she and I sat down with my schedule, and we just lined up this course of work, and I would go for a day, and I would come home and I would do all my homework, and it would be late nights doing homework. It was a great experience. They were very great to deal with. I loved it down there. So that was pretty unique for me. The other thing that I found really unique was I wasn't the only old guy down there. There was a group. It's kind of a unique school in that there's people who are in second careers down there starting out again. So there was 5 of us, and we would get together for lunch often, and 4 of those guys I'm still in contact with. The other one's in heaven now. So it was a great time to network with people from different churches. We had just a good time being together. So that was pretty unique about my experience down there. The other thing I really appreciated down there was the professors I had. Some of them were really knowledgeable. The guy, 3 in particular that I was thinking about this week that I really enjoyed. First one was Olu Peters. He was a professor of pastoral ministry. He's on sabbatical now. And he was very practical in his teaching about pastoral ministry. He's the guy that taught us about making sure your paperwork is done and your schedules are up to date and you're keeping track of expenses and that. Just practical teaching. I love that kind of stuff. I have a business background, so that stuff really reflects with me. The other thing, one of his favorite quotes, and let me explain it after I give you the quote, because it's not going to make sense at first. Okay, so one of my favorite quotes of Olu's was, "People are stupid, but so are you." And I remember this quote all the time, because he, with having some older second career students in the class, we would reflect on real life situations in pastoral ministry, and then he would give his opinion on it. And sometimes it's not always the greatest place to be, right? People say things, but by the grace of God, we try not to say things too as pastors, right? So it was a good thing for us to remember that people give their opinions, and we're not perfect either. We give our opinions sometimes too that aren't necessarily great. So people are stupid, and so are you. That's just something that's always stuck with me. The second guy that I really appreciated was John Schuett. John's a pastor, or as the teacher that teaches a lot of biblical theology classes. It's nice to sit in a class and be there for an hour and a half, because we always had a coffee break halfway through. Be there for an hour and a half, look around, and nobody was sleeping in class. People were engaged, and that's great. It's just fun to listen to him. He was very knowledgeable. He was entertaining. He was able to just reflect on what was in the Bible and apply it to a real life situation. And I love that kind of stuff. That reflected with me too. The third guy that really impacted my life, I never actually had him as a professor. He hasn't been there that long. His name's John Latta. He's the guy that does a lot of the youth ministry there. When I need some ideas, some counseling on how to handle the situation in youth ministry, he's the guy I call. So I'm in pastoral ministry now. I do youth, children, and family ministry at Auburn, and it's good to have these people kind of in your back pocket when you need somebody to talk to. Those guys are always there to talk. They're there to give you ideas. They're there to just help you through situations. And it was a good experience. I really enjoyed my time down there. I'm so glad I'm done. I don't know how I would fit it in now. There were some classes I definitely struggled with. There were classes that I thoroughly enjoyed. The classes that I struggled with are classes that I see as very beneficial now. So, for instance, Greek. That was a tough class for me. I use it all the time. So it was a great time down there. And yeah, that's about all I have to say. Do you have any questions? Because I'm a recent graduate. I can feel questions or not. You can ask these other guys too. Any questions about this? How many students? See, ask me the question I don't know. How many students are there right now?
Our full-time equivalent is about 160. There's about 200 and some in various part-time, full-time capacities.
Right. The nice thing is that you can spread it out a bit there too. I was down there for 6 years. So the first year I was there full-time, and then after that I had to spread it out because I was working. So.
Can you explain the difference between supralapsarianism and infralapsarianism?
I can, but we're not doing it today. What's that? Which one are you? Not doing that here today either.
Yeah, this is a friendly record.
That's right. That's right. All right. Nobody has any more questions? Thank you.